Hello. So, I'm going to be doing something a little bit off-season, but I have had this idea in my head for a while. I saw this belt chain a few years ago, probably, and this charm bracelet somewhat recently, and I was simply thinking in my brain, I wish this could be Halloween themed, and I wish this could be something I'd wear. So that's exactly what we're going to make today. So, across the top we've got these jack-o'-lantern acrylic little pendants that are mirrored, not on the back though. I got these from an Etsy seller, which I'll link in the description. And then this is just a bag of little Halloween charms that I got from a few different places, because I accidentally was like, oh, I haven't ordered these yet. He has already ordered them. And then these belt chains are just really shiny. And these are just some little metal key rings, you can get them. So first I'm just going to sort of lay out, sort of decide what I want to be where. So here I am just starting to figure out where I want my pendants to go. I first thought maybe that the big pendants should go on the bottom because I was afraid of them covering up the smaller charms on the lower belt, but that ended up not really being a concern, more so than evenness was, in my opinion. I would much rather have, less charms on the smaller belt and more charms on the larger belt. So I'm just sort of sorting out my pieces, and I definitely should have counted the amount of loops in the belt chain prior to figuring out where I want them to go, because later on I ended up having sort of room for a few more on the belt that I wouldn't have had this issue if I had counted the exact spacing that I needed beforehand. Alright, so I'm happy with this arrangement. So now it is just a matter of counting out how you evenly space this among the chains. And I only have a handful of spares and some extras in the bag that I wasn't a super big fan of the designs of. So let's get distributing. So here I am just flattening out my belt, which is a really important step just to make it easier to count, but it's also really important when you're actually doing the assembling, so as to make sure that you're putting the key rings on the same part of the belt loop on every single loop that you're putting a pendant on, so as to make sure things aren't upside down. So we're going to be placing these about every 4 chains. Basically what I mean by having everything on the same side is, basically if you have everything laid out and flat, proper, then make sure you're putting the key ring on either the bottom of everyone or the top of everyone, so that they're not flipped. And when you're putting on the charms, you can also make sure to do the same thing, so that you don't have some charms that are upside down or the wrong way compared to other ones. This is a bit hard to sort of predict how they're going to go on at first, but as you get the hang of it, you can make sure you're putting it on and looping it in the same way with every charm. So it seems there's actually room for a couple more in here. Since I ran out of memory to properly film this video, I can talk a little bit about how I put together the top half of the chain. It was pretty simple. If you don't have the exact ratio of charms to belt loops, then you can always just move the design a couple inwards on the belt loop so as to still have them be evenly distributed. You don't have to use every loop in the belt chain, you just have to make sure they're all equidistant from each other. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how this looks, so let's go ahead and start getting these little key rings on. Another really important tip is to make sure that you have nails. I made the mistake of taking a break after finishing the bottom belt chain to take a shower and trim my nails, and when I came back I was unable to do the top one, and I had to have my boyfriend put it together for me. This is not a freshly trimmed nail project. So I am about to run out of memory, so I'm going to call it here. You can imagine what the rest looks like. See you soon. So here's the reveal. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I love how extra it is. It is so loud when you walk. I also love that it's 2 different belt chains so you can mix and match. So let me know if you do this at home, and have a spooky March. Bye!